Bonjour les beaux gens du NoReset. Hi people, beautiful people from NoReset. J'espère que vous avez passé un beau vendredi. I hope you're having a great Friday. Prochain run, next run, we have Diddy Kong Racing 80% on Nintendo 64 with Mr. Ponytale. So when you're ready, let's go. Good run.
Yeah, we're ready to go. All right. Hello, hello, everyone. I'm good to go.
There we go. There we go.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mr. Ponytale. With me are my wonderful commentators, Obayo and Trident Tail.
Hello, hello.
They're both DKR runners. And here we're going to be doing Diddy Kong Racing 80%. So we're going to get started right now. We're going to pick the TT, the clock character here.
What are we naming this file?
We're going to name it NoReset.
Okay, Nor.
We will actually be resetting twice, though, so yeah.
So this run is invalid then?
Yeah, this is an invalid run. We're cheating.
All right, let's go.
All right, time will start in 3, 2, 1, start. So, Obayo, if you'd like to give a quick introduction to how we start this run.
What you're about to see right at the start is basically completely different from what we usually do. When you play this game normally, you obviously have to go through all the worlds and everything to get to Wispig and then finish the game, right? Where we're gonna be doing it in a very different way, starting with an out of bounds right at the start to go bid Wispig first. So this is a big first trick in the game that I'm sure Pony will get first try.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. It's actually really hard to do, so it will be very, very good if you get it first try. But yeah, just to talk a little bit about the run. So 80% obviously skips the most that we can in the game to beat Wispig. It's the stops, especially specifically at Wispig 2, so the space race, and not the one at the beginning we're going to do here. And to get there, we're going to be doing some shenanigans so that we don't have to go through the entire games to do that. But the first one will be, like I said, the out of bounds to go to the Wispig 1 race, which is in the rock that you can see in the background.
So in the meantime, we're going to pick up, I think, 1 balloon here, or 2 balloons. There's 1 here in the lake, and then the one that most casual players miss is right behind the trees here. And then we're going to set up for the overworld clip, which is a little bit tricky. You kind of need a good angle there. And of course,
nice.
Mr. Ponytail gets it. So we're flying out of bounds, and we're just going to clip into this Wispig trigger here and access the boss race.
Yeah, and this race is probably one of the more difficult ones to go fast in. There's a lot of different things that can go wrong.
Yes.
But Ponytail is literally the master at this track, so I'm really excited to see what happens here.
I'll try my best. This level is horribly laggy, and it can just throw me in any direction it wants at times.
Oh yeah, this is very random, but Pony is the master of not only the car in this game, but this track specifically is just really, really good at it. Hopefully I'm not putting too much pressure.
We'll see.
Just don't go for a swim.
We might.
No, you won't.
Nice. So I guess we can talk a little bit about the strats here. So you've been seeing these zippers, which are the little boosts on the ground. As you can see, Pony is getting a green boost, and that is achieved by releasing the A button right before driving over the boost. And it actually gives you a way stronger boost than if you hold the A button. And so that's one of the major way Pony is going to be going really fast in this game, is by abusing the green boost on every single boost possible in every track. So
you'll also notice he's drifting a lot. Drifting typically is the fastest form of movement as long as you're not boosting. And you also want to be drifting up these slopes as well, typically faster to do that. I didn't even catch the time of that.
106.85.
That's very good.
Yeah, really good.
Now we're going to reset the console here.
But you can't reset.
Yeah, it's no reset.
No reset. Oh, I broke the rules.
Invalid run.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone.
So in true rare fashion, there's like 5 minutes of unskippable credits, fake credits, and we don't have time for that. So we're just going to reset the console, and luckily the game saves after
He starts his tantrum.
when he starts his tantrum. So we're good to just get back into the game here. And now we're going to head to the first world, Dino Domain, and I hope you like these tracks because we are going to be seeing them a ton. And Mr. Ponytale is like in a league of his own when it comes to these tracks, so it's going to be crazy. I can already guarantee that.
First track is Jungle Falls, and don't blink because this one will go by really fast.
Do we have time for a donation?
Yeah,
we
go
can.
for it.
We have Sigur 999 with the 50 bucks. Sigur 999 avec $50. Good job la gang. Toujours le fun de voir des speedruns made in Quebec.
Good CPUs there, getting in the way.
The CPUs become a very big challenge in this game. They get in your way rather than slow you down. They'll shoot missiles at you, lay traps. It's random sometimes how aggressive they are.
So we got a very important trick there. Awesome to get the first one. You don't want to get the yips on the very first one. So that is a cutscene skip. It's very important in any percent because if you miss one, it's going to cost you about 20 seconds, but essentially it's a frame-perfect pause on the very last frame of the race. And that allows you to go to the lobby without having to see all the Taj cutscenes of him giving you the balloon.
Yeah, and in any percent they are especially important because there are 8 of them in the run, but as soon as you miss one of them, you get an unskippable 20-second cutscene. So yeah, you really want to get all 8 of the cutscene skips. That's a major time save when you do speedruns. But so far, Pony's 1 out of 1, so that's pretty good. And 2 out of 2, nice.
And as you can see, if you pause the first time and you don't get that first place on the screen, then you can try to buffer it. It's a little tricky with a variable frame rate game like DKR, but it is possible to do, like he just did on the last one there.
Also, one thing you can notice on these tracks that was not on the Wisbig track is that the Pony is going out of his way to collect bananas. Bananas in this run are super important. They give you 2.5% acceleration and top speed, which snowballs a ton when you combine it with like all the boost and the blue balloons, which are also boosts. You can just achieve crazy speed. So you're gonna see mostly going out of your way on lap 1 to get as many as possible. It does cap at 10 bananas, so as long as you have 10, you're fine. And
I wish I could explain to you like everything that went into that sequence there, but it's too insane. Essentially, we have a trick here called Canyonless, where he's going to do some tight drifts to get the balloon and hit the zipper, and then you can chain them to just launch yourself into this canyon section. Nice. All right, 3 for 3. Now, this is a cool one. Do you want to talk about it?
yeah, so this is our first plane track up top Volcano, and the movement in plane is very different in car. It is all about barrel rolling, so you're gonna see Ponytale do a bunch of those, and with the barrel roll, you can do a similar flip than we did earlier and go underneath the wall, out of bounds, and then now we can just barrel roll back and forth. Just like that.
Yeah, so you can fly in any pattern you wish. There are some important checkpoints that you need to hit, otherwise TT will tell you you're going the wrong way. But this is clearly a much more efficient way of getting through the track here.
Yeah, so there's like, I believe there's like some checkpoints that like you cannot skip around the track, and then basically as long as you hit those going around out of bounds, you're fine.
And Mr. Ponytail is going to go back in bounds, get that cutscene skip.
Yeah, you can do it while being out of bounds, but you have like no reference visually to when to press the plus button, so it's just way easier to go back in bounds and have a visual reference. So.
Got the first boss coming up here, Tricky the Triceratops, if anyone remembers.
The speedrunner's best friend, Tricky.
Yep.
Yep.
And we're gonna complete this race doing no shenanigans whatsoever.
No,
Completely
totally
normal.
intended. Just giving him a head start, right?
Yeah.
I think he needs more time.
Yeah, he definitely needs more time.
I'm a nice guy. I gotta let him give a chance here.
All right, but not too much time though.
Yeah, now
like this is still a speed run, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
you gotta
it
go
is.
fast, you know.
All right, hold.
Anytime now.
But Pony, shouldn't you be going forward?
I should be going forward. Let's
Oh.
go. Let's go forward
Yeah,
this
let's go
time.
forward now.
Okay. This bit never gets old.
No, it doesn't.
No. So do you want to try and explain that?
I can try. Game does shenanigans and gives you the win. But for real, there's like some. So the checkpoint system in this game is kind of weird, and especially on the one lap track like Tricky, which basically is not a lap but just a sprint to the end. There is some leftover checkpoint behind the finish line which you can abuse to trick the game into thinking that you are further in the track than you actually are. And then the game gets kind of confused, and when you see the wrong way on stream on the game while going forward, that's when you know the game is tricked. And then when that happens, you can kind of just drive forward to a certain other checkpoint, and then the game will have a failsafe that will just give you the win. So that's what Pony did there. Unfortunately, getting the checkpoint to work for the trick is a 50-50 basically. It's a coin flip, which is why Pony was just trying again and again. And he got really unlucky, but it saves on a first try about 40 seconds. It's a massive, massive skip, and you have to do it twice in the run, so you just kind of have to go for it.
But the important thing is that we got through it. We didn't have to restart the race, and now we're on to the coin races, which is personally my favorite aspect of adventure mode speedruns. There's lots of different ways you can go about tackling these coin races. Sometimes you can go for the bananas first to make sure you get that top speed as soon as possible. Sometimes you'll prioritize coins so that you can just focus on racing for the next 2 laps. Sometimes it's a bit of a, you kind of balance the two to try and find a more optimal route. So there's lots of different ways. I think all runners kind of have their own way of tackling it, and it's pretty interesting to me anyway.
Yeah, definitely on some of the harder tracks that are like way longer with maybe not the greatest point position, it's actually like so many different strats that people do. It's really nice to see, and it kind of like works out for different people too, depending on like your play style. And 5 out of the 5 cuts and skip, actually 6 out of 6, I think.
We're at 6 now.
Yeah.
Only 2 left.
Mr. Ponytale, in your PB, did you miss a cutscene skip?
We did miss a cutscene skip. It's Ancient Lake Coins is the one we missed in the world record. Loses like 22, 23 seconds every time you miss the first one. And it was a finishing time 37:05. If we hit it, we could have gotten the very first 36 any % ever.
Yeah, for reference, Obayo and I are second and third with like 37.50s. So we're like quite a bit behind Mr. Ponytail, and he's got a 20-second time loss in his run. So that makes us feel really good, eh?
I mean, yeah, it feels really good, right? But yeah, I mean, there's many, many tricks later that you'll see that can go wrong, which did go wrong in my PB. Hopefully Pony will get it, will not be so unlucky, but will be lucky instead. Oh, keeping that coin for third lap is a little scary.
It is really scary.
I usually try to get it lap 2, because if you miss, then you have to like back around, it's really slow. Alright, cuts and skip, and you got it. Nice.
All right, 1 away. Well, actually, that might not be true. There's, the route might fluctuate here a little bit. In a perfect world, we would only be grabbing 11 balloons, but this is going to require some good luck later on. If we don't get that luck, then we could potentially be getting 16 balloons, which means we have to do more balloon races, which could mean more opportunities to miss cuts and skips. But we'll talk about that when we get to that point.
Alright, so for each TV coin here, the regular route, usually what people do is that they collect all the coins on lap 1 and then go out of bounds lap 2. which is what Pony is doing right now. So you're guaranteeing yourself that you're not missing any, and you can just like abuse the out-of-bounds speed with the barrels to go fast afterwards.
For someone who's a car expert, Mr. Ponytale's doing quite well in the plane here. 54?
Of course, is the last one. So now we get to see why we lose time for missing one.
Yeah.
We have to watch this.
If we have a donation, actually, that'd be like really good time for it.
We don't have one yet, but I can recall all the donation goes to the Virtual Guardian Foundation. Their mission is, the foundation is an online beacon for people in distress and works to promote healthy and responsible digital use. Petit rappel, tous vos dons vont à la Fondation des gardiens virtuels. La Fondation est une balise en ligne pour les personnes en détresse et travaille à promouvoir l'utilisation saine et responsable du numérique.
All right, the rematch of the century here.
So we got absolutely horrible RNG the first time, so we're going to get first try this time, right?
Hopefully.
That's how it works normally.
Yeah, it should balance out.
Surely it won't be 6th time again.
No, definitely not.
No. Impossible.
Man.
That's really unlucky.
Yeah.
This is like the one track that makes well, there's multiple reasons why this track is this game is brutal to speedrun at top level, but this is definitely like one of the biggest one. Yeah, third try.
It's better than 5th try, I guess.
Yeah, it's way better.
And this is the second console reset here.
Cheating again.
All right, so now we're done with all of Dino Domain, essentially, collecting the things that we need to collect.
Yep.
We're gonna get into the next segment here.
I guess we could say we are done with Dino Domain. Are we really done?
No, we're never really done
Yeah,
with
we're
Dino
not really
Domain.
done with Dino Domain, right?
No. We're gonna head back there in just a second.
This is actually new for us, though, right? Because typically what we used to do is we would just watch the cutscenes and then go straight to Dino Trophy. But this is some kind of new routing here where we're going to do the car challenge, get an extra balloon. We're going to change to the plane, and then we essentially have the plane for the rest of the overworld movement, which we didn't before. And that's good because the plane in the overworld is considerably faster than some of the other vehicles that we're going to be put in.
Ooh, a corner. The corners stick out a little bit, so sometimes as you hit them.
But this is what we're doing here is specifically for like the backup route in case we need it.
Yep.
Because normally we stop at 11 balloons and we do go to the trophies. But yeah, this is in case the game is not very nice to us.
Do we have time for a donation?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
We have Michel Lacroix with the $250. Michel Lacroix avec $250.
Yes.
Merci d'avance pour le temps que vous nous donnez. Thanks for the time that you're giving us. Et choisis Chrono Trigger for the screen background. Choose Chrono Trigger for the background. Thanks again.
So maybe we can talk a little bit about what the actual goal of this speedrun is. So to get to Future Funland stage, which is where the second race with WizPig is, two things need to be met. So we need to beat WizPig, which we did right at the very beginning by doing the overworld clip. The other thing that we need is we need all 4 gold trophies in the worlds. Now, we don't have access to all the worlds unless we were to gain a bunch of gold balloons by doing races. Obviously, we don't want to do that. That takes a lot of time. So coming up in a little bit, we're going to be setting up a trick that is kind of the crux of this speedrun called trophy storage. Do you want to talk a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so trophy storage, like Trident said, is not only a trick that's used in 8%, but also in 100%. It's a fantastic trick that basically, yeah, that was some racing. That was good. But yeah, basically it's a trick that will allow us to get all the trophies without actually getting them. And I guess we'll show why that is later when we actually do the trophy storage. Pony is really cooking right now. It's really fast.
I can't wait to see this time.
Yeah, I want to see this time now.
We're talking like maybe a 53, maybe a
even better.
52. A 53.
Oh my god.
That's very fast.
That's like 2 seconds faster than my PB.
Yeah, that's 2 seconds faster than my
That's
PB too.
crazy. I cannot explain how good that is. That's actually crazy.
Yeah, I told you he's like on another level. His understanding of car mechanics is like so far above everyone else. All right, so we got one flowy Jungle Falls, and then we're gonna be getting into a little bit of shenanigans here. What are we getting here?
This is also a very good time.
33.
33. Oh, you're just showing off, Pony. Like this. This is actually so good.
All right, so remember the out of bounds in this track? Well, we're gonna go out of bounds
Okay.
in a moment.
The stalagmite. Oh no.
All right, it's okay. We're not actually racing here. There's just a mysterious loading zone underneath the finish line here,
Overworld.
and we get
One of the 3 warps that are possible. So when you go in that loading zone, there are 3 warps. One of them is this one in the overworld. And then there are 2 warps which takes you to the Dragon Forest lobby. One will take you there in plane, and one will take you there in car. The one we ideally want is the one in plane in that lobby. But since we didn't get it, we're gonna do a little bit of racing for the alternate route in case we don't get it.
Yeah.
are we going for it?
Yeah, we're going for it.
All right. So this is a trick that no one is doing except for Mr. Ponytale. No way!
Oh my! That was almost first try.
I'll give it like 1 or 2 more tries
Okay.
here.
All right. So this is an incredibly hard trick. Only 3 people, I think, have done it like on console.
I think so.
And I'm one of those people, and it took me hours.
That's going to be a no for me.
No.
All right.
We gave it a shot.
So what he was trying to do there is there's a little seam there that you can kind of like slip into, and you can actually access the mini game. And if he were to do that, all he would have to do is lose the mini game, as opposed to having to do a race. But no big deal. It's an incredibly tough trick. It is what it is. But at least we get to see more car movement.
Yeah, now we get to see Snowball Valley, a very fast track. You can kind of just like fly through the valley here if you do your boosting right. Oh, right over that oil patch there.
So the reason why we're doing this track, it's the fastest one in Snowflake, but now we have a trophy.
Yeah, I guess we have a trophy now.
Yeah, we have a trophy now.
Alright, so to explain a little bit to what just happened here. So we started a trophy in Down Domain, and we did the first 3 tracks, and the last track being Out of Volcano, we actually never completed it, so we warped out, and then by warping out, the game is still in the state that it's trying to finish a trophy race. So what you can actually do is go to another world, complete the race, and it's gonna take the world of the last race and give you the trophy of that world. So because we did that and we completed Snowball Valley, we actually got the trophy for Snowflake Mountain without actually unlocking the trophy normally. Because normally to do the trophy, you need to beat both bosses, which means you have to beat all 4 regular tracks and all 4 tracks with Silver Coin. So you're actually skipping a ton of the game by doing this.
Yeah, and you'll notice that the cutscene of the trophy, it actually looked like we got the trophy in Dino Domain, but Mr. Ponytail is going to go back to Dino Domain, and you'll see the trophy is not there. That's because the trophy is actually in Snowflake Mountain right now. You're just going to have to trust us.
Yeah, so I believe it's because it takes the cutscene based on where you entered the trophy and not necessarily where the trophy is being given to. So that's why it's showing the wrong cutscene.
Yeah, and this solves our conundrum about getting all 4 of the gold trophies without, having to play through a good majority of the game.
You can see there's nothing here.
Yep,
No trophies.
Nothing there. And yeah, so you know how we said we hope you like the Down Domain tracks. It's pretty much going to be rinse and repeat from here on out. So yeah, just more great car movement from Mr. Ponytale.
Yeah, I want to see a 33 now.
I'll try.
Yeah, Conquer had to ruin it.
Yeah, that is the one thing about this game doing adventure mode is the CPUs can just sometimes steal your balloon or completely block you, and there's really isn't much you can do. Just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah, they're usually not much of a problem. I mean, obviously, Mr. Ponytail's lapping them every single race, but that doesn't mean that they don't, you know, get in your way. Sometimes they drop traps onto the track, and you can sometimes predict where they could be depending on your pace in a particular race, but other times you could get a surprise and you end up spinning out or getting hit by a rocket.
I do believe that their item that they're dropping is somewhat based on your base and when you are using the items yourself. I do believe when you press the Z button, they're more likely to use their items.
Yeah, they retaliate.
Yeah, they retaliate. So if you are in a certain spot on the track and you use your blue balloon, there's a decent chance that they're gonna just drop like a spike ball where they are on the tracks currently. And then if you're always on the same pace doing it, you're gonna end up with spike balls in pretty much the same spots or around the same spots usually. So you can kind of predict where to look out for those because of that. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah, still misses blue balloons, gets a 58, no problem. And 58 is like a great time.
Oh yeah, any runner that gets a 58 in a run is like pretty happy.
Yeah. So that's just kind of showing you like the level that he's on, that he can make all these mistakes and still get a 58. That's, I don't agree with that one.
Yeah, I don't either.
Sometimes you can have so much speed in this game, you can completely clear over the frame where you could actually hit an object, like a zipper or a balloon or a banana. The hit detection isn't perfect in this game.
Yeah, the balloons are actually very notorious for that. It is and on some levels, it is you have so much speed that it's very common to just skip. And wow, he's
Wow.
showing off with the ending there, going between the two bones at the end. I do believe it's like very slightly faster to do that.
Ever so slightly
Yeah.
faster.
That's like task movement right there. All right, so we're gonna be doing the warp again. We want Dragon Plane.
No.
You know, yeah, it would have saved us having to get 3 more balloons. So it would have still been nice, but it's all good. It's what? Like, did we say it's like it's roughly 10% chance?
Yeah, I think it's like 10 or 12.5.
Something like that.
Depending on who you ask, it's like in that range. And you have 3 tries to get it, so it is pretty brutal to go for a 10% chance 3 times, and then if you don't get it in normal attempts, it's game over because you cannot PB if you're a top runner.
How's your hover movement, Mr. Ponytail?
It's okay. It's not the best, but it gets by.
So this is the only hover track I think we're gonna see in the run.
We'll actually be playing Pirate Lagoon just after this.
Oh, that's right, yeah. This one is a track that I personally struggle with. It's this last connection here. So Mr. Ponytail is going to hit this zipper, try to do a sharp turn, and grab that balloon. That's what I struggle with.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. It's one of my favorite tracks to do. But it is kind of frustrating because you are kind of blind turning into the balloon here, unless you take it a little wider. But like optimally, you want to you kind of want to not go wide. You have to go very sharp and turn into it, and it's pretty much blind.
Pretty much blind, yep.
There's a few blind turns in this game. They're all very hard.
All right, so there's our second trophy, right?
Yeah.
So as Mr. Ponytail said, because we're kind of doing a safe showcase route here, we're going to just go back into some of these races and grab a couple more golden balloons. Now the reason for this is you've heard us talk about Dragon Plane. It's a very rare warp, but if he were to get that, he would be able to fly out of bounds and access any race he wanted In this case, it would be Haunted Woods because it's the quickest one. But if we can't rely on that warp, then the race that has the least amount of balloons is 16. So we need to have 16 balloons in order to access a race in Dragon Forest.
Yeah, this is what makes showing this in the marathon a little tricky because we can't, unless you get lucky, you cannot show the optimal route. But I guess in the other way to see it is that if you don't get good RNG, you get to see more tracks.
That's true.
So it's not too bad.
More content.
Yeah, more content.
Hey, we don't have to see the cutscene skip though the cutscene this time.
Yeah, so the big 20-second cutscene only plays one time. Every other time you miss the cutscene, you can just skip it after a few seconds. So
Yeah.
it's not as much as a time loss. You will play again.
CPUs.
Oh, that drumstick blocked you right there.
Yeah.
This
They
is-
get in your way.
Yeah, this is very notoriously difficult at the start there. Well, like the CPUs very often will like boost in front of you and block you from the zipper. You know, sometimes you just get unlucky.
Why don't you talk a bit about what I'm doing, rocking the hovercraft back and forth
Hey,
here.
yeah, so what Pony is doing is called snaking. So the way the hover was programmed, it was programmed to give you a little bit of a speed boost when you turn and hold the R button. I believe it's probably just to make it feel better. Probably why the devs did that, but what we can do is we can just go rock back and forth. We can abuse that speed boost and go a little faster. And what you can do on top of that is that you can abuse a tapping on top of snaking, and then you go a lot faster than what the hover would otherwise. So, yeah, very unfortunate cutscene skips.
Yep.
And those cutscene skips wouldn't be a thing normally
Yep.
if we got good RNG, but.
So now I have to remember to grab one last balloon here.
I was wondering why you were one short.
We grabbed this one that we normally never grab at 90%.
Right.
Now we have 16.
Because we would usually grab that. That's the first thing that we would do before we do the clip. Right?
Well.
Oh wait,
we-
no.
well, in the
Not in
Hondo-
16. Not in 16.
Yeah,
balloon,
yeah.
Or an 11 balloon. Yeah.
So we were both more Hondo runners, and we did get it right at the start of the run. So.
Yeah. What are we doing? More trophy storage.
Yeah, more
or not.
trophy. No, actually not.
Yeah,
So-
this one's normal.
Yeah, this one's
so
normal.
we actually have to get the Dino trophy at some point, so you know we can get the 4 trophies. So normally you could technically do it at any time, but it just makes sense to do it as the third one. Because normally when you do attempts, you want to maximize. You want to see if you're gonna get the warp early, right? So you want to get the 2 first attempt. You're warping out, try to get the good luck. If you don't, then you do a Dino trophy, and then you have one more chance on the last one.
Do we have time for a donation?
Go for it.
We have Dimitricus with the $50. On a Dimitricus avec le $50. À défaut d'être présent avec vous, je le suis en virtuel. Bon week-end. Aïe!
Oh, so
A little bit of
Yeah.
speed tech there.
a little bit of speed tech. So there's some very obscure strats you can do. So the way Bruce works in this game is kind of tied to the FPS in a way. Oh my god, that was a mess.
Let's hit the bubble. I'm glad I
Yeah,
didn't.
so many bubbles. Actually, drumstick kind of getting it out of your way there.
Sometimes they're nice.
Yeah, but what was I about to say? So because the frame rate actually affects your speed a lot, what you can do sometimes is you can do some C presses to like switch between the map and the speedometer, and you can actually create lag to extend your boost speed. So that's what Pony did there on map 2, I believe it was, where he did a C press in a very specific spot at the end of the boost to kind of extend the speed. And this is the kind of stuff that a master at the car does.
I've started to implement it a little bit to generate a little bit of lag before the end of a race. And I've had a little bit of success getting cutscene skips that way, but Mr. Ponytale's taken it a step further and used it to extend those boosts.
Yeah, very important to have a shield there. especially on this track, on Trophy Race, it's not uncommon to just get shut down by an CPO Neptune going through there. It's also not uncommon to just unfortunately run into someone with the shield, which makes you spin out and then crash in the wall. And so when you have your own shield, then you don't have to worry about that.
So Mr. Ponytale is not going to warp out. He's going to complete this.
Yeah, don't do a me. It's very easy to forget though. Like when you're in the group of just running and you're going through the trophies and doing trophy storage, like it's very easy to forget that hey, you actually have to do it without warping this time. So.
Yeah. Sometimes your mind is just on autopilot, and then you lose sight of the routing a little bit.
Yeah, it happens to all of us.
It definitely happens at 100%, but the routing in 100% is a little bit more convoluted, but... Can we get a shout out to for the music in this game?
Yeah, shoutouts to David Wise for the fantastic OST. One of my personal favorite, absolute, I would say one of the best, just OST out there of any game. Personally, I think I don't think there's a bad song in this game.
Sure. I wouldn't know. I don't listen to it most of the time.
Yeah, because we know music lags the game, so sometimes we do run without music. But Pony obviously wants us to listen to all these bangers. So.
It would be a crime to showcase DKR without music, honestly.
Yeah, we would deport you.
No.
Back to the USA.
No.
More Dino.
Yeah, I love Dino.
We told you at the start, like you better like down the main. Like this is I mean, dinosaurs are cool, so I like it.
All right, we're gonna get another good Fossil Canyon here.
Hopefully. What's the dinosaur's name again? The big green one?
What's his name?
Should we? I'm
Open
not gonna,
that can of worms?
I am not gonna give context for why it's named that, but it is called Leffen. All right? I'm not giving context for that one. But
Hi, Leffen.
We call it Leffen. Yeah, hi Leffen.
Oh, okay.
That was really weird.
All right. I think we both knew where that was going, and we were both surprised there.
Yeah.
All right, make sure you avoid that oil slick.
Yep, might be there unless the CPU hits it.
Yeah, we haven't really seen it too much this run, but the physics in this game are like really jank sometimes. Like it will just end up in like you're gonna hit like the side of like a hill like this, and it's just gonna throw you in the wall, or you're gonna like use the speed, and you know it's kind of a mess to be honest. But it's a good mess.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's a bad mess. You know, it just depends.
It makes things interesting.
Yeah, it really does.
Also, that was a 57, and like I think Mr. Ponytale would say that that was like not the most clean.
Definitely not.
Fossil Canyon, and it was still a 57, which like.
Yeah, if
I wish.
Like, yeah, I wish I would get 57s every time, right?
Oh, a little bit too far.
It's really unfortunate because this is one of the more flowy tracks in the game, and if you miss a zipper, it can really throw off the rhythm of the track. All right, so one last trophy storage. We're hoping for not an overworld warp again. We would like to be in Dragon Forest, and Dragon Plane would really hurt right now.
Okay. So normally, if you have Dragon Plane here, what you do is you fly to the further to the track to the furthest right, which is Haunted Woods, which is like 20-something balloons normally, but that's only like 45-second-ish to do. Unfortunately, we have to do the backrut route, which is the 16 balloon door, which is windmill planes. But at least we're gonna get to see a pretty cool trick here.
I hope so.
I hope so. One of the hardest tricks in the game.
Yeah. So let's see if he gets it.
Oh, it kicked me out. That's all right.
All right, so we're gonna just take a lap, and I'm sure he'll go for it again on the second lap.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the toughest clips, I think most runners would say, in the game, at least in adventure mode speedruns. There's some other clips that are like really, really hard, but you don't really usually see them in this run. But that's only half the story, because once you get out of bounds, then navigating out of bounds is also incredibly difficult. You can imagine this track almost like inside of a box. There we go. Now,
Oh no! Barreled back in.
so there you go. I don't even feel like I need to explain anymore.
Yeah,
like you've just seen it.
You got to see the out of bounds, so it's all good. But yeah, so basically, what Ryan was about to say is every track is kind of like in a box, which is an image I like to use a lot to explain this.
Here.
Oh. Yeah. Oh. But basically, so when you go out of bounds, if you stay within that box and hit, you won't be warped to the start. But if you go outside the box, which is either up, down, or on the other side, you will get warped to the start. The problem with this track specifically is the bottom floor of the box is very high. It's very close to the tracks. So you have to stay pretty high, and as you can see, the track
I'm gonna pay up some debt here by missing that. I'm gonna do one for the fans.
There we go.
One for the fans. But yeah, so basically, as long as you stay within the box, you don't go too far down or on the sides, and you hit all the checkpoints, you can finish a track out of bounds. But this one specifically is just very difficult to do.
Yeah.
For many reasons.
All right, so are we ready?
I think we're ready.
Are you ready? You should be
So, as I said, there's two things that we need to satisfy here. We need to beat WizPig, and we need to get all 4 gold trophies. That's done.
Now we get to see the best N64 cutscene ever.
Yeah.
Do we have time for a donation?
Go for it.
We have Sweener with the 30 bucks. On a Sweener avec $30. A riddle for the commentators. How much time could a TikTok clock if a TikTok could click clock?
Yes.
Shout out to Sweener, like current ATR world record, all trophy races world record holder, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So an amazing DKR speedrunner.
Yeah, shout out to the Diddy Conversing community. Either those here with us in the crowd or at home. Shout out to you guys.
There's lots of DKR representation here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, so now Pony is doing something that's not suspicious at all.
Nope.
He's not luring TT in a dark alley. Nope. Nothing's going on here. But yeah, so basically you might be wondering what we're trying to do here, because WizPig 2 is right here, but how are we going to get to WizPig 2? Because there's a big door blocking the way, right?
Well, clearly we're annoying TT a lot, and he's going to get really mad.
We're asking him to open the door, but he doesn't want to.
No.
But I think if we ask hard enough, he might let us go there.
Yeah. Maybe honk at him one more time.
Okay.
Eventually, he will relent.
Yeah, if you just annoy him enough, then he's just gonna be, okay, whatever, you can go, so. Oh. That was a weird camera. So, yeah, he even went out of bounds to avoid us there. see, we annoyed them enough, and now we can get WizPig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final boss fight.
Alright, so just to quickly explain before this, so you lure TT out of bounds, so he gets up above the tunnel, and then he falls down on you, stomps you, and then you fly in the air, and then you can go in the WizPig 2 room, so.
That's a classic rare oversight of the final boss door not being unlocked or locked because of the requirements. There's a door behind it that's locked, but not the actual door to get in.
Mm-hmm. And we pretty much have to do that trick because the only other way to access it is pretty much to 100% the game, minus a trophy.
Right,
so we're in a plane level, so obviously there's an out of bounds.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, plane equals out of bounds most of the time.
Yeah.
So now we just kind of get to fly around and have fun.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not as simple as Hot Tub Volcano. You kind of have to fly in this like sort of triangle pattern in order to hit all of those important checkpoints. But it's no problem at all.
Yeah, normally runners have an indication. So normally when you run, there's like little arrows on the side.
That's right,
Which
yeah.
tells you if you hit certain checkpoints, and you can tell, okay, I have this arrow at this place, so I have hit the checkpoint I need to do. With this race specifically, Wispig 2, there's no arrows. So you kind of have to just know that you're hitting them.
By the way, time will be when you see first place on the screen,
Yes.
which is going to come up soon.
In a few seconds.
Seconds here.
One more. One more for the road.
There you go, time. Great job.
Thank you.
Pretty good run.
Yeah. We beat Wispig for the second time, and this time he's not coming back.
Or easy.
Or is he? Spoilers.
DKR2 coming soon.
DKR2, is that? Yeah. For the Switch? DKR2 for the Switch, maybe.
One day, one day.
Yeah.
All right, do you have any shoutouts?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out everyone in the DKR community who is watching live right now in the voice chat. Sweener, Leah, Tarzan, Tari for helping me out on so many technical levels. I'd like to thank my dad, my mom, my family back home watching. And yeah, this is a great experience. Thank you, NoReset, for giving me this showcase opportunity, and I hope you all enjoyed.
Thank you, Mr. Ponytale, for the run, the beautiful run of Diddy Kong Racing. Merci pour la run. Je vous rappelle, a little reminder, we have a Hat in Time, a bingo run with GC Borgo after. On a une run de Hat in Time avec un bingo avec GC Borgo par après. Donc, restez là, stay there with us, and don't hesitate to donate. Merci beaucoup.